Okay, so we'll just start. If you'd like to introduce your martial art.
Yeah, my name is Ollie Catford. I'm the assistant instructor for the Shorinji Kempo club here at Southampton University. I started Shorinji Kempo 10 years ago when I first came to the university. Took it up in my first week, and to be honest, I've been doing it ever since. I've played with other martial arts in my time, but all of them had something, were lacking something that I felt Shorinji Kempo offered extra to it.
Okay. Where does Shorinji Kempo originate from? What's the kind of background, the history of the art?
Shorinji Kempo, the name in itself is a bit of a mouthful, to be honest. Yeah. But when you actually look at it, the Japanese characters for writing it translate as Shorinji Kempo, which in Chinese means Shaolin Fistway, which links back to the Shaolin Kung Fu sort of idea from there. In theory, what it's actually trying to call on there is not necessarily the Shaolin techniques and practice, but more the philosophy behind the Shaolin Kung Fu. The art itself was conceived and put together by Do Shin-so, who's the founder out in Japan in the mid-1940s. And it was put together as a result of a situation he found out there. Obviously, at that time, it was the end of the Second World War. Japan had suffered badly, losing as a result of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and he was living in Japan and saw that the Japanese were really suffering under the occupied forces, and that because things were so tight, so controlled, the Japanese gangsters, the Yakuza, were running large segments of society and making life incredibly difficult for people. As a result of that, what he wanted to do was try and teach people to look after themselves, help each other, and so on and so forth from there. And he started that by trying to teach philosophy. But of course, people were too busy just trying to survive at that point. So he called on his experience of studying the martial arts. He'd learnt Japanese martial arts from a young age. He'd spent large portions of his life out in China as well, studying the Kung Fus out there. So he brought all of this together and essentially took away what he found was either inefficient or ineffective, and combined it all into one syllabus. And he taught this martial art to the people so that they could then stand up for themselves, but at the same time he taught the philosophy so that to make sure that they're standing up for themselves for the right reasons. So we always talk in Shorinji Kempo about it creating a healthy mind and a healthy body and giving you effective self-defense. And really that's the essence of the motivation behind it.
In terms of anyone who may be looking to start a martial art, what is Shorinji Kempo effective? How's the style effective in terms of self-defense?
Shorinji Kempo just focuses on self-defense. It doesn't do any competitions. We don't do any full contact sparring or anything like that. We do the techniques on each other, and a martial art without any type of pain is a dance form essentially. So there is going to be that work that goes into it. We try and make the martial arts as efficient as possible. The idea is that you can have a maximum effect using a minimum amount of force. Now you can use certain physics principles for that, so that like the idea of levers, leverage, momentum, the idea of replicating the spinning of a wheel to increase the force on the outside of the wheel. At the same time, we use a system of nerve points, 138 nerve points, all things said, scattered all over the body, and they're like light switches, and some will make you fall asleep, some will make you slower, some will cause breathing disruption, whatever the case. Some will just make you move in a certain way, and we use all of that tied in together so that when you come to do Shorinji Kempo, you don't need to be massively big and strong, you don't need to condition yourself, you don't need to go punching your hands into sand or anything. The idea is that you should be able to use it immediately, and it's about being quick, being fast, and being accurate, and anyone can be that.
Okay, that's great. So I hope you've enjoyed a quick introduction into Shorinji Kempo. If anyone does want to join the club, how can they contact you, and when are your training times?
The best way, we've got a Facebook group up at the moment about it. Come and have a look for us, Southampton University Shorinji Kempo Club. Alternatively, just come and find us in person. We train twice a week at the moment. Thursday nights it's from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock in the judo room, the martial arts room bottom floor of the Students' Union building, and then on Sundays again, bottom floor of the Students' Union building in the dance studio, which is wooden floored with all the mirrors in there. You're more than welcome to come along and have a look. That said, you can come along and train as well. We've got no problems with beginners at any time.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.